What's going on, everybody? Brad here, back for another Let's Talk Jurassic. It's Wednesday night, 9 p.m. as we do this every week, pretty much. I don't think we're going to be here next week. Probably not. I don't know. I got to check the schedule, but but we're back again talking Jurassic. We got a lot of stuff to talk about tonight. Some new stuff. some interesting stuff, and of course, I'll tell you in a second. Let me just put this stuff up here. Hopefully you guys can hear me. Hopefully all is good. But yes, we're going to be talking about Jurassic World Evolution 2, the DLC plus the free update. I'll mention the Transformers sets. We're going to talk about Camp Cretaceous season 4 very minimally. I'm going to do it very, very minimally. If you've seen any of the content that we posted, whether it's the reviews or videos or whatever the case is, we like to keep it very, very spoiler free here. So if we do see any spoilers in the chat, you boot it. All right. So don't spoil anything. Don't even tempt spoiling anything. I know that there's a lot of spoilers floating out there. And that's very unfortunate. But we're going to try to do our best to just kind of skirt around all that stuff. Just talk about general feelings. And if you have any questions, I'll see what I can do. But, you're better off just waiting. It's today's Wednesday. Wait until Friday. We're almost there. But let's see here. Before we get into it, I want to see who is here. So I want to say welcome back to everybody here in the chat. Good to see you again. Let's see. We got Jurassic Souls. I know you said at one point you might dip out, but good to see you. Cretaceous Dave. Happy Camp Cretaceous Eve to everyone that will love it and everyone that will hate it and all those in between. There you go, Dave. You got it down. Let me see here. Why is this? Is this a little glitchy on my end? Let me. I don't know where the program is. Oh, there it is. Let's see. We got Pixel Grizzly. Carl. That's you, right? Carl Archimelian. Dodgson is here. Which one should I share out? I don't know. Just share this one. Let's see who else we got here. Isasorna Communications. Halo YouTube. YT, I'm assuming. Shane. What's going on? Another Shane. Let's see here. We got Jurassic Dave. What's going on? Siaka. Hey, how you doing? I can't wait to talk more about this season with you specifically, because you're out there each and every day just saying this is going to be the best season ever. So I'm really interested. Let's see. Jared, what's up? John. Hey, John. Wow. Imagine having a console that can play Evo 2. Imagine. Even if you do have one, it's still tough. This is going to be a night, huh? All right. So I'm going to do my best to try to keep up with the chat and make sure that there's no spoilers in here. What's up, Steve? What's up, Caleb? How you guys doing? I'm going to do my best. What's up, Lewis? Happy December. It is the first day of December. Wow. Yeah. So let's celebrate December. We've got the Jurassic mailbag finally returning. That'll be back next week, I believe. Yeah, I think it's next episode. Well, not the next episode. The next episode's going to be another Camp Cretaceous episode. So this week, I don't know if anybody's had a chance to see any of the content that we pushed out recently, but we have episode 300 on the books. Episode 300. It's wild. How did we get to episode 300? I don't know. But had a great time with this one. We did the Jurassic Wire, myself and Aaron Beyer. We didn't do much of a celebration or anything like that, but we had the Jurassic Wire where we discussed so many topics recently. We've got Jurassic World Dominion's prologue, the Amber Society. We discussed the Amber Society, so feel free to enjoy that. We discussed our thoughts on Jurassic World Evolution 2. Aaron discussed his thoughts on Camp Cretaceous season 4. We got the visual history in there, the Transformers set. There's so many things. And speaking of that Transformers set, I have like a little look at it, and it was like an unboxing that I did with my son. It was so much fun. We actually opened this thing up. Had a chance to put it together. We didn't put it together on video because it was like some of it was like the I'll talk about it in a little bit. But go check out that video. And yeah, but episode 300, big deal. I can't believe we've gotten to 300 main episodes. And of course, we are way above that with all the bonuses. And speaking of bonuses, we have the Jurassic World Camp Cretaceous Season 4 spoiler-free reactions with myself and the one and only Tom Jurassic, where we go over all of our thoughts on Season 4 here. And like I said before, we do not dive into any kind of spoiler content. When we're recording these spoiler-free episodes and writing the articles and putting all the videos together, a lot of it does feel pointless. I'll be honest, a lot of it does feel pointless because we end up putting all this thought and effort into creating these spoiler-free chats and things, and then you can't ever say anything. At least that's the way that we view it. You know, when we're putting together our content, we do not want to spoil it for you. I know if I was, in your position and I wanted to see this fresh with, no preconceived notions as to what it is really outside of trailers and maybe some interviews, I wouldn't want to know anything about it. So we do not go into any details at all. So yes, hashtag spoilers suck. I agree. It's such a shame that everybody's sharing, even the most, what may seem like the most minute detail turns into like speculation and, just rolling out of control with what you may think that thing is. And it's tough. It's really tough because, of course, you want to say more about it, but I think it's better to, to censor yourself a little bit and not spoil everything, because there's a lot of things that you'd want to see for the first time within the show and not on Twitter or a review video or something like that. So check out this spoiler-free episode. If you're afraid, please don't be afraid. There's nothing in here. We're basically like, yeah, we like this, we like that, we don't like this, we don't like that. That's pretty much it. So please give it a listen. And like I said, there will be a full spoiler episode coming at the end of the week. So once you've seen the show, once you've watched the entirety of the thing, please go ahead and watch and listen and download and do all those things. But yeah, please do not spoil any species, any plot details or things like that. And, speaking of species and things, I'm not going to say what it is just in case anybody hasn't seen anything. But, unfortunately, some of these things end up being official, spoilers in a way, where the main accounts or the official merchandise or the splash images that are on YouTube or on Netflix themselves or anywhere, they end up revealing things that you don't want to see. So right now is about a good time to back off social media if you don't want to know anything about it, because it's rough out there, guys. It is, and not even just Camp Cretaceous wise. It is rough. It is rough. Maybe we'll talk a little bit about it in a bit, but anyway, please check out all the Camp Cretaceous stuff. And speaking of Camp Cretaceous, Tom does have a written review here. So if you want to dive into it, again, pretty easygoing, nothing really revealing in this, but just clips and pictures from the trailers and whatnot. So, but yeah, it was really fun kind of diving into that. And we'll talk a little bit more about that in a little bit. We'll save it for like the end of this live stream where we can actually go into more details, sort of. But yeah, anyway, what do we got up here next? So over on YouTube, there's been a lot of content. We have a lot of episodes of the Jurassic Wire this week that are popping up. Like I said, I did that unboxing for the Transformers set. You can check out Tom's video reviews over on YouTube. And also we're wrapping up That's Jurassic. Our buddy Brent Capel made these amazing videos that are titled That's Jurassic, and they showcase Camp Cretaceous versus itself sometimes, versus Jurassic World, Jurassic Park 3, Jurassic Park, video games, things like that. And it's actually really, really fun to kind of see the references, the nods, the similarities and things like that. So I've been really, really digging that, and I'm sure there's going to be a wealth of things to continue on in the future. So hopefully Brent will continue on with that in the future. But I am very, very excited. We've got the last one coming tomorrow. This whole thing was just a push to lead into season 4. So it's going to be ending tomorrow, and then season 4 is going to be on your plates. So I'm very, very excited to hear what everybody thinks. But let's dive into some of I just want to see some things that are going on in the chat right here real quick. Steve says, really appreciate the spoiler-free review. Looking forward to the spoiler review too. Yeah. Jurassic Soul says, I'm addicted to Jurassic, so it was hard to stay off Twitter when I just love seeing dino tweets so much. I've seen many things I wish I had not yet. Yeah. I don't know. I don't know what everybody's thinking. It's frustrating. We try so hard to not spoil anything, but then things end out, coming out already. So yeah, there's been a lot of like official pushes and non-official pushes too. So it's been tough. And yeah, Steve, becoming a parkour expert, avoiding Spider-Man leaks, impossible to avoid everything. Yeah, it's rough, especially with Spider-Man. I feel like I know so much of that movie. Yeah, but also, let's see. I wanted to point out, oh yeah, Ghostbusters Afterlife Unspoiled. That is some good stuff. Go check that movie out. I do want to point out, if you came into this at the very beginning, I forgot and I added it probably after you guys popped in. But if you refresh the video, the availability, which side is it on? This side over here. To donate, or if you're watching this on your phone, probably down there, you can donate to our Jurassic Gives Back charity drive again for this holiday season. So we are giving back to the Children's Hospital of Philadelphia, the same charity that we chose last December. Yeah, that's when we did it. And we are giving back to the Children's Hospital. Money will go to the kids, to the families, and for the research and everything. It's such a wonderful organization that has helped out our family here, and we hope to help out others as well. So last year we raised I think over 1,000, and this year we're making our push. But I know there's a lot of stuff going on, and it's tough. It's always tough times, it seems like these days. And I know there's other charity drives and things like that out there, whether it's Neems or anybody else. So please, if you're giving to any other charities, don't worry. Just share it around. Let people know that we've got this thing going on, and that'll certainly help out as well. So please go donate to the charity drive. What side? This side or down here? I don't know where it is. But yes, let's talk about our first little topic here, which is going to be this. So Universal and Hasbro were kind enough to send us this set here to take a look at. So they're doing another push here for this item. So you can see it's the Transformers Collaborative Jurassic Park Mashup Tyrannicon Rex and Autobot JP93. Two fantastic items. I've never been one to collect Transformers, so this is a brand new kind of thing for me. When I was putting these together, I was like, this is very difficult. So the Autobot, the JP Explorer, was actually fairly easy. That thing just went together real quick. But the Tyrannicon Rex, that was so difficult. I was struggling with that. We were filming and unboxing. My son's there. He wants to get that thing together instantaneously. He made a few twists and turns, and he's like, I did it. And I'm like, not yet. No, you didn't. But there's a huge pamphlet thing here that comes with it, and it's especially for the Tyrannicon. It's got 27 pieces of instruction there to put this thing together. So that one was a little bit of a tough, challenge to put together, but I did get it there, and I don't ever want to change it because it was very difficult. So I think that will always stay the Tyrannicon Rex. So that's fun. but the Explorer is fantastic, whether it's in the Explorer form or the Autobot form. It's really great. So anyway, just go ahead and pre-order that right now. I know it is a pricey item. Can't really deny that. I initially passed up on this item because I'm not a Transformer collector. So I think it's understandable if this is not really your kind of thing. But I just wanted to let everybody know that it is available again. I guess I don't really know the detail or the history, but I think it was available previously, and I guess they're just doing another push here for the pre-orders. I don't know, what's going on, why it seems a little weird, but we're going for another push here, and 104.99, bit hefty, I understand, but it is a cool little package there. So anyway, just wanted to point that out before we move forward here. So thank you again to Universal and Hasbro for sending that our way. It is on my shelf. No, sort of. I mean, it's just on, which I've also got this thing, which I just picked up the other day. I picked it up a little while back and it just showed up. But this poster, oh my gosh. This is fantastic. I know a lot of people were like, taking issue with where the placement of like the visitor center and the park gates and all that stuff are. I don't care. It's like canon to me. Who cares? So this is just a fantastic poster. I love this thing so much. This just showed up to my house within the past day or so, and I just picked up the frame today. Sorry, I know I'm off the mic there, but yeah, I got to find a place for it. There is like no room. I don't think I can put it in this office. I think it's going to have to go somewhere else, unfortunately. So yeah, but anyway, I was trying to point out the Autobot JP93 and the Tyrannicon Rex right there. Very cool little items. Anyway, Jared says, had I known that was coming, I might have considered buying this set for my youngest cousin, but the 104 price tag is giving me pause, though. Yeah, understandable. JP Transformer not available in my country yet, but I'm buying it when it is. Very cool. Hopefully it becomes available for you soon. Let's see here. And there we have it. It took 23 minutes and 30 seconds to bring up canon. Yeah, here's the thing. Canon, I think it's been very controversial on social media recently. So I don't know if everybody's been paying attention to Twitter and whatnot and other platforms, but like it's become very contentious. And I know my buddy Stephen Ray Morris shouted out a little blurb about canon, and I think I don't know, maybe people were a little upset about the tweet, or I think everybody has their own opinions on what canon should be and everything. And I was like I was agreeing with Stephen, and I'm like, let's not just like ruin everything because we are so addicted to canon. And I forget exactly what the tweet said, but I was kind of thinking about it, and I'm like, I would rather things be like just a mess and just be all over the place than not enjoy anything, and I think when it comes to canon, you're like, I'm not going to enjoy anything. And I've said it to myself, I've said it out loud here on the show before, that like, I want to be able to trust in canon, and I want to be able to know that things are real and legit and matter. But I don't know. When it's strayed so far at this point, I'm like, let's just enjoy it. Let's just have fun. Let's just enjoy canon. And there we go. There's my little canon rant for 3 minutes or so. So thank you. Canon is canon. Yeah, the word canon has been bended to the point we don't know what it means anymore. Exactly. That's like, I'm like, we don't know what it means anymore. And even on this show, we have talked about canon within the first 3 films, and it's a little bit of a mess even there. So it's not like this is anything they tried to really get cohesive from the beginning. But I'm like, you know what? If there's something out there, it's canon or it's not, and I don't care. So let's move on to I did, Lewis. I said canon. Let's move on to our next topic here, which is going to be, let's have banners for this. We'll talk about Jurassic World Evolution 2. So let me bring up, we'll start with this real quick. We'll just start light and easy. We'll showcase the species field guide. So let me see here. I think we got some audio. Oh yeah, there's some music going. That is some good relaxing music. All right, let's lower that down, duck it down, and then hit play. Early Cretaceous pack. New species discovered.
One of the largest pliosaurs from the early Cretaceous period, the Kronosaurus's powerful limbs allow it to easily navigate its aquatic environment. Underwater agility paired with elongated, crushing jaws make it a fearsome predator.
Early Cretaceous pack. Oh, let's pause this. A World Evolved coming 9th of December. There we go. So let's talk about it for a little bit here. We've got a new DLC already. Here we are with a brand new DLC. And it's too early. It's too early. I'll be honest, and I struggle with this game a lot. With the playability on this is very, very difficult, and here we are with a paid DLC, which I don't know if there's been anything. Maybe there's been something on the forums and whatnot, but I haven't seen a price tag on this yet. I don't know. It could be anywhere from like $7.99 to $20 or so. I don't think it would be any more than that, but it's, it's in that realm, I would assume, because I feel like that's pretty standard for what they've done in the past. So that was one of the dinos, or, non-dinos coming there, the Kronosaurus, for the early Cretaceous pack. Now, I'll be honest, you know me, I'm no dinosaur aficionado, so I don't know if any of these things are actually from the early Cretaceous. I would assume they did their research. Would assume. Oh, look it out. Look at this. Check it out. I got a new mug here. Jurassic Park podcast. Can't get my hand out of the way. It's a little like smushed up here, but it's all right. So Isasorna Communications says they are lowering the difficulty for free new update. Well, that's good to hear. That's great to hear. Hopefully that's true. Let's see here. So I want to go over to the article that Tom Jurassic wrote up, or it just says the Jurassic Park podcast. But spoilers, this was something Tom wrote up. Early Cretaceous pack and new buildings, sandbox tools, and more. So we got, let's see here. Let's see what Tom's written up here. So 4 brand new animals to the game. These are these are some of the most difficult names to pronounce. The Werosaurus. I don't know. The Minmi. I know the Minmi. That's a cutie. I think it's this one right here, right? We've also got the Kronosaurus, which we just saw. And this thing, which is the Sungaripterus, which I think is this one down here, this flyer. Yes, it's a very unique pterosaur from China. Very cool looking. I think that thing is fantastic looking. And this has never been a downfall of this game. This game is beautiful through and through each and every time they update it. And even from the initial package that they sent out, it has been beautiful all the way. So no difference here. This is fantastic. Let's see, anything else there? These animals are in their new DLC packed, and we don't have the price point confirmed. But yeah. And he also says a wealth of quality of life upgrades. Oh, that is so good to hear. So Tom's most exciting thing is the Department of Fish and Wildlife building skins from the campaign are being added to the sandbox. So the sandbox is not anything that I have gotten into yet. But I have thought about it quite a bit, and I've thought about, I want to play these modes from the campaign, and I want to play these campaign things in the sandbox. And I was like, I can't play Philadelphia or Pennsylvania, whichever it says. I was like, I can't play Pennsylvania. Well, guess what? Now you can. So it's where does he say it here? I think he says it somewhere. It says the inclusion of the campaign levels in the sandbox maps. So we got that vibrant Pennsylvania map in the sandbox mode. That is fantastic to see. Very, very exciting about that. Let's see. Jurassic Park themed lagoons and aviaries. Let's see. Yeah, this is always good. Completely flat, treeless version of the maps. So that's pretty cool. New rock perch points for reptiles, cool. New balance changes, don't know what that means, and accessibility additions. All right, so anything else here? Yeah, no, I think that was about it. Let's see if there's anything on the forums. JP building sets. The Department of Fish and Wildlife. That's cool. Let's see. Let's allow. Campaign levels, flattened sandbox, rock perch points, balance changes. So I wanted to see what this is about. We've done a few changes to the game, balancing based on your feedback. Frequency of storms and disease outbreaks in Chaos Theory should be less frequent after this patch, as should disease outbreaks in easy and medium difficulty challenge levels. We've also made some tweaks to dominance stats, which should cut down on dinosaur fights, as well as decrease the likelihood of dinosaur fights causing injuries. Finally, we've rebalanced the combat stats of dinosaurs that can be involved in group hunts. That sounds pretty good. That sounds really good. I'm excited to hear that. I think what it comes down to is I have heard a lot of feedback. I have not gotten into the Chaos Series stuff. Now I know Jared just asked, have I finished the campaign? No, I have not. What you saw was what I've done. I have not gone back to it since, unfortunately. But let's see, what do we got here? We got accessibility additions. Update 1 comes with more. It says different subtitle colors for each speaker. That's great. Adjustable autosave frequency. The game can be paused during cutscenes. DLC and free update 1 will release on December 9th at 1400 GMT. So that is 9 EST if you're over here, 6 PST. But sounds pretty good, and it sounds like they're getting in the right direction. So that is very good to hear. The difficulty, which I didn't even realize until you pointed me towards it. I'm always like far from the updates and information for this game because it's hard for me to pay attention to each and everything that comes out. So I'm like, I'm gonna let Tom, figure this stuff all out. But this game becoming maybe a little bit easier, not so difficult and strained, that'll be big. That'll be big. So myself and Aaron Beyer talked about our thoughts on this episode, episode 300, The Jurassic Wire. And we both struggle with this game a lot. And I know Tom enjoys it a little bit more. And I just had a hard time with the difficulty. Now, I don't think it didn't say anything about the campaign or anything like that. And a lot of the issues maybe I take with the game don't seem to be here just yet. But at least there's an update for the frequency of storms and outbreaks, because from everything that I've heard from the community and stuff like that, it's like, oh my gosh, I can't even build anything because it's constantly being torn down by a tornado, or I have to send out the vet constantly. So we'll see if anything changes in that regard. So yeah, but it's a beautiful looking game, and when it does things well, which has only been one time in my experience, I really enjoyed what it does well, but what it does bad or just, just okay is kind of just like, I could play something else in my spare time. So yeah, but I'm glad to hear that. I am glad to hear that. Again, I need to know what that price point is, because it's very interesting that this game just came out. Now, what was the price point initially? What is it at? I forget. It's like probably like $60-$70 or something like that, right? GameStop has it $52.99. Let's see, buy now. So I bought mine for the PS4, and I got the deluxe edition, which I still have no idea how to get any of that stuff. Of course, this is in GB, Great Britain. So let's go US. Not available for purchase when I changed the website. All right, cool. Anyway, it said £59.99, whatever that is. So it's expensive. So to add on, and this just came out. This is like not even a month old, right? Didn't this come out in November like 12th or something like that? 11th? Oh no, September. Okay. Oh wait, no, November, because this is some British stuff here. It says 9/11/21, so that's probably November 9th, right? All right, so November 9th. So it's not even been out for a month, and we already have a paid DLC on the month date, the date of it turning 1 month old. That's a struggle. That is very soon. That is too soon. Now, I will say that I wonder how much of this DLC is due to the fact that PC sales and stuff like that really tanked for this game, and that the stock hasn't really done well for this game, and they have not sold enough. So I wonder how much of this push for this DLC is we lost out on a lot of money, so let's get this DLC out there and recoup some of our losses earlier than we expected. So I think that probably has a lot to do with it, unfortunately. And yeah, Siaka points out the 40% drop in stock value. It's rough. It is rough. And Muzzmill says $60 on release. Yeah, so that's what I thought. But it's tough. It's tough. $60 plus 1 month later if you want these dinosaurs. At least the other stuff that I said, the quality of life stuff, the rock points and things like that are all, and the sandbox stuff is all free updates. So that's good. That is fantastic that we get those. Hey, we'll fix these things. We're willing to fix these things for you. But you got to pay for these extra dinosaurs. Who knows? Maybe these things would have dropped like in the new year or something like that if they didn't have that 40% drop in stock value. But, I don't know. And Siaka says it might have been better financially for them to actually release Near Dominion. Yeah, probably. But, when it comes to timelines and stuff, look, this probably would have come out June of this year if all went smoothly. And imagine if COVID didn't happen. I know that's a thing we say a lot. Just humans say a lot, not just me. Imagine if it didn't happen. Jurassic World Dominion comes out in June of this year. And also this game probably, because that's what happened last time around with Fallen Kingdom. So, they already are pushing it to November of this year. I can't imagine. They have to release the game because they planned on this financially probably in June. So I can't imagine that this was a good thing for them to have to delay it, and then once they actually release it, it has a 40% drop in stock. And then they're like, well, how can we recoup this? Because we're not going to be able to release anything of true value maybe until June of next year. Because I imagine there will be some more DLC and actual Dominion DLC and things like that in June of next year, right? So they can't wait. They can't wait. And you understand. We all understand. I get it. If COVID didn't happen, it's almost as common as and. Yeah, it's like common as saying the, like, just the most common thing you could say, because we've all thought of it. We've all wondered, if this never happened, if we never had to deal with this, what would we have seen? And we've thought of it here on the podcast so many times because we have this film coming out. And based off of this film coming out, we have video games, we have toys, we have theme park things. We have so many things opening up that would have all come out around the same time. And the marketing push and the sales and everything would have been sky high through the roof. But unfortunately, it's like, well, now this thing's coming out now, I guess. And the ride came out way before anything else. And now, this game and the DLC are odd, and toys are just left and right. Who knows? And hey, at least we got a prologue. That's a good thing. So, Steve mentions that definitely seems like they cut out a portion of the campaign that ties into Dominion. Yeah, it definitely feels that way. Yeah, and Cretaceous Dave says, based off of how dev shops work, if the game was delayed that much longer, half of the team may have been out of a job. Don't you mean extinct? I think that's what you mean. But yeah, they would have been out of a job. And look, we understand that. We don't want that. We don't, despite I have, a lot of issues with this game, I understand there's probably been a lot of struggles behind the scenes with Frontier and getting this game out the door and trying to make it a valuable game for you upon its initial release. So it's been tough. I assume it's been very tough. So, everybody that's worked on this game and Frontier have done a wonderful job, but the game itself for me hasn't worked. But, I understand the struggles. So Adrian points out another fact is that, COVID delays may have made Jurassic World Dominion a better movie because it wasn't rushed. That's fair. We've said that many times here, that like it gave them a different opportunity to look at things from a new lens and kind of maybe add things in that they didn't expect. We just heard Colin the other day talk about, they were stuck in this hotel all together and they ran through some new ideas and they came up with some new stuff. So that gave them the availability to give us a prologue. That's fantastic. Thank you. I don't want to say thank you because I'm thanking COVID, I guess, and I don't want to do that. So, but yeah. Yeah, unless, of course, character haircuts change between shots. I'm not so much worried about haircuts as I am Maisie going from like 12 to like 14. That was one thing when the delay happened that I'm like, she is very young and kids age at a rapid pace. Every day I'm looking at my kid and both of them and I'm like, when did this happen? How have you changed so much? So I've imagined that like, with this delay, Maisie may look older than she looked at the start of this filming. You don't really have to worry about that with like, the Pratts and Bryce Dallas Howards and, the original trio and stuff like that. They're not really aging as rapidly as kids are. So it's going to be interesting. And yeah, what we've always done? Cloning. It's a clone. Cloning is a gamble, right? Yeah, exactly. So we've talked about, and Adrian here points out Bumpy growing so fast. Yeah, that's the thing. We've talked about rapid growth rates a lot here. So who knows? Who knows? Can you imagine that Lockwood's like, look, I want her to be 25. That's when she died. I don't know when she died. I don't know why he's like, sounds like he's Irish all of a sudden. Is that Irish? I don't know. What accent is this? But anyway, that's Jurassic World Evolution 2. So what else we got here? Oh, let's talk a little bit about Jurassic World Camp Cretaceous. I guess we'll talk a little bit about it. All right, so we won't go crazy here because look, I absolutely do not want to spoil anything for anybody, anywhere, at any time. I don't want to spoil anything for any reason, for whatsoever, at any point. All right, so feel free to stick around, or if you don't want to know literally just feelings of my own, you can definitely go. But let me actually change this up just so I'm a little bit more detailed here. Anyway, so we're going to talk a little bit about my spoiler-free thoughts on Camp Cretaceous season 4. So if you haven't, we have I'm trying to look at your comments here and I don't even understand what you're talking about. Well, Brad Batman is canon. Did I sound like Batman? Where is she? Biosin asks, will we get a new early scene tomorrow for Camp Cretaceous? Yeah. Excuse me. I don't know. I'm choking on my own spit. I don't know. I was wondering that as well. Me and Tom Jurassic were having a conversation about like what's to come in the next few days here. And I wouldn't be surprised if something pops up. I don't think a new trailer or teaser or anything at this point, but a new scene or something like that would be cool. That would be fun. They already showed off one scene already, right? They showed off the Mosasaurus thing. I don't even know what's going on about this Batman stuff. Like, what did I do? That I sounded like I was, Liam Neeson. I'm gonna find her. And what's he saying in that movie? I don't remember. The one where his kid gets taken. I'm Brad Man. Siaka, we all need your outlook on life. That's fantastic. 10 out of 10, perfect. Best season of any show ever made. The apex of human art. No hyperbole. And you haven't even seen this. And these are your thoughts. I love it. So, yes, I've seen it. I had access probably for like nearly a month, I think, or so. I had the chance to watch it. What did I do? I think I watched a handful of episodes. Oh yeah, you have a particular set of skills. Now I can't do it anymore because I've been coughing. You guys are on top of it. Hammond had a particular set of skills. What am I talking about? Camp Cretaceous. Yeah, I had the chance to watch it. I watched maybe through 7 episodes right away, pretty quickly after I got the access. And then I finished, 8 through 11 that same night. So I think I finished it all in one day. And when you have a season, it's like, I want to watch it right away. I just want to be able to see it. So I wanted to be able to see it ASAP. So I watched it. And my initial concepts and thoughts around this season were, I'm not into it. I'm just not into it. And that was a struggle for me. Because I really like Jurassic content. I love everything. I'm pretty open about being easygoing when it comes to so many details and so many things. So my initial viewing for season 4 was tough. It was very tough. There's a lot of good in there, which I saw upon my initial viewing. But there was a lot in there that I was like, "Oh, this is rough. This is kind of tough. I don't know where we're going here. It doesn't feel Jurassic per se." So I struggled, and I feel like right now, like there's a lot of struggle going on. I played Evolution 2, and I had a hard time, and I was like, this is not fun. This is just not fun. And then I moved into season 4, and I'm like, where's my enjoyment of anything Jurassic these days? So it was kind of difficult for me, but I also had the chance to watch with my kids next to me at some point, and I saw them really into it, really into it. And there were several moments where like I could just like connect with them and be like, okay, this is how we should be enjoying this show. This is how I need to be able to enjoy this show. And I need to remember that when I watched Jurassic for the first time, I was 7 years old. You know, I that's what I was. I think that's what I was. So it's been a long time. But that's where I came from. And I enjoyed everything. And I do enjoy everything except for a few things here and there. But it was tough to kind of struggle with it for me. When it came to season 1, I thought that was fantastic season. Season 2 I struggled with, but I came back from that. I bounced back real quick. Season 3 was amazing. I thought that season was fantastic. And season 4, really affected me in a different way. So that was kind of tough. Colin did describe the series as best served on Saturday mornings. Where did he say this? Is this a real comment? Or you just know that I love hearing what Colin says about things? Anyway, I had a chance to watch it again. And let me tell you, I watched it completely out of order the second time around. I watched episode 7. I think it was episode 7 on my. So I already saw the whole season, and then my second time I'm like, okay, here's episode 7. So I watched episode 7, and then like 2 weeks went by, and I'm like, I gotta rewatch this thing. I gotta do a lot of content, and I gotta get into it and remember all the details. So I watched episode 8 through 11 again, and I'm like, okay. Well, I forgot to watch episodes 1 through 6, so let me go all the way back to episode 1 and watch all the way back through 6. It was an interesting way to watch, but not that I would say please don't watch it that way or anything like that. But I like I did with season 2, I had a slightly new appreciation for it. Season 2, I appreciated a bit more, I think, upon my second watch. But season 4, I was like, there's still a lot that I just can't really get on board with. But I appreciated the things that were done well so much more, I think. There's a lot in here that's pretty heavy, which, not that I need my Jurassic to be like emotionally heavy or something like that. But there's some things in here that I was like, oh, okay, I see where you're going. I see where you're going with this. And I think we've heard Colin and we've heard Scott Kramer talk about it quite a bit, that there's things in this season maybe, or in this show, that carry over in some form or fashion into Jurassic World Dominion. And I can't say for sure what that thing is. Even after seeing season 4, it was not overt. It was not overt in any way. So I have no idea. But I've got an inkling. I'm like, okay, maybe there's things that you could use from this thing. Maybe there's something from here you could use. There's one thing in particular, which I will not mention in any way, shape, or form. But I was like, if that was used in Jurassic World Dominion, that would be game changer kind of stuff. So while I struggled with this season in many ways, and I still do, there are things in this season that are pretty interesting, very well handled. So I think I've got it. I think I've got what carries over, but I don't know at all. I really just don't know. But I hope I got it. I'm just keeping my fingers crossed here. I really don't know, but yeah, there is some sort of problem with the island's gravitational pull. Spoilers. No, that is a Back to the Future quote for anybody who's wondering. Biosin asks, are the episodes longer than the previous seasons? I don't think so. I'm pretty certain that they were all 24-minute episodes. Like, each and every episode was 24 minutes long. So yeah. Benny asks about when I said game changer, a good game changer or bad game changer. I don't know really how to answer that, and that's not just me like trying to stay away from spoilers or anything. In my eyes, I think a good game changer and an interesting game changer. Let me just answer this real quick. John asks how many episodes. There's 11 episodes. Go back to this. I think it's a good game changer and an interesting game changer because it really it changes things. It'll relate back to it'll how do I say this? It'll correspond with a lot of what we saw and heard about in the first film. And not just the first film, but it's something that's carried over a lot. But I think if this was to come to fruition, and if in Dominion you're gonna tell a story that covers generations and it covers themes and elements from the past, I think if you were to pull one thing from season 4, it would be this one thing. We will talk about it in depth at some point. Maybe, definitely in the spoiler episode, we talk about it. So stay tuned for that. But I'm really interested to get all of your thoughts and feelings when we can do another live stream. Now, let me see. I believe, like I had said, that next week I'm going to have to play by ear. I don't know that I'm going to be able to be here with you guys on the 8th of December. And I definitely won't be here the 15th of December either. So you may have like a few week gap, unfortunately, which is, comes at a bad time. But yeah, so we'll see. So, where's Tom to come save you from spoilers? No. I'm not spoiling anything here. Yeah, rewatch this after the season just to see like where we're going. But we talk about it in, like I said, in the spoiler episode. So this might be terrible, but I like to watch the final episode of Netflix seasons first every time. And guess what I'm in for? Oh my God, what? Wait, what? Do you do that with Camp Cretaceous? That is not a good idea. So my wife does that, or I don't know if she still does that, but she used to do that with novels. She reads constantly. So she would go to the end of the book, read the last page, and then go back to the first page and read through that. But yeah, Tom is out from December 8th on. Yeah, you're right. Tom is out. Tom is going to be out as well. He's not going to be, he's going to be stuck playing Halo. I am not, but Tom will be, yeah, for sure. But hey, we got the DLC for this game too, Evolution 2. Call of Duty's got a new map going on, so there's going to be a lot of stuff. Lee says next Wednesday is my birthday. Like I said, I didn't know you said that. So happy next Wednesday birthday. You do it with everything except for Cobra Kai. Okay. All right. But yeah, I think it'll be really interesting. If this one detail does cross over into Dominion, I think it'll be a nice tie into the entirety of the saga. So I hope so. Because I would love to see that carried through. And I think it would make Dominion a very interesting movie. But yeah, sorry, I'm like looking at other stuff here. I don't know what you're talking about. Like when Harry met Sally. Sure. I have no idea what you're referring to. Do you watch the ending of When Harry Met Sally and then go back to the beginning of the movie? But what else can I say about this season? So we know that there's robots in this season. from the marketing materials and things like that. Look, I mean, the posters have had them on it. The trailers have had them in it. So I'm down for robots. Let me tell you, I'm down for robots. And there's a lot of controversy going on right now in the community for robots. A lot of back and forth between a lot of people who haven't even seen the show and some that have. So it's interesting to see the commentary based off of people that haven't seen it yet, about talking about people that have seen it and their thoughts about technology. And I'll say this about technology. When it comes to Jurassic has always been ahead of the curve. Always ahead of the curve. So we got eyes. Hold on. Where did it go? We got eyes on me when I'm talking about robots here. And Siaka says, Brad, I expect you to love these particular robots. No, I don't love any of these particular. I'm okay with some robots here. But what was I going to say about the technology? Oh, so Jurassic Park has always been ahead of the curve when it comes to technology. You know, the novels themselves have been like, I think even still to this day, like there's tech stuff in there that I'm like, I don't know what's happening anymore. I'm like Ellie. I'm like, oh, there goes over my head. And then the films certainly had a lot of, you know, tech stuff, whether it's developing dinosaurs in general, that's kind of technical achievement. Self-driving vehicles with interactive CD-ROMs, like that's pretty advanced. And then you move over to so you know, Jurassic World's got holograms and things like that. All of these things are very believable. And I don't think that there's anything that's not extremely believable tech-wise. I don't know if I believe that fully, that statement I just said. There's some things I don't believe about it, but I don't think it's about whether you believe that the tech is possible or not. And I feel like that's where the conversation has gone over the past 2 days on Twitter and whatnot. I think the conversation's always about, well, yeah, we've assumed that tech could do these weird things in films for a while, and we've never had a problem with it before. But that's not what this is about. I have issues with the way that the tech was used and utilized. And I don't know. I just have problems with the way that it was utilized. So I think they kind of missed a mark in that sense. But yeah, that just go into that knowing that there's some weird stuff in this season that you might have to look past and kind of understand that, hey, whether I think this is believable or not, it's weird, or maybe I'm into it. I don't know. And maybe you guys will be into it. If you're Siaka, you're like, yes, bring it all on. I love it all. Yeah, you know? Claw Jurassic. Oh man, the claw robot in Jurassic. I'd love to see that extrapolated into a more complex robot. You know, that's kind of what I've been that's kind of what I've thought about a lot of Jurassic in the past several years, is when people are making new content, it's like, what worked in the past? Let's make that, but more. Let's do that, but more. And I was, where was I having a conversation about this? I think I was talking about it on The Wire. No, not The Wire. The Mailbag, which comes out next week. But we were talking about how, and it wasn't in relation to Camp Cretaceous at all. It was just like in general. We were talking about, you know, in Jurassic Park, there's a fight between the T-Rex and the Raptors, and it's just like, it doesn't really feel like it was set up as a battle of epic proportions. It was just something that happened, right? And then we got Jurassic Park 3 that's like, we're all about dino battles. Let's fight. And we know how that went. And then Jurassic World, you know, comes around and it's like, people love the dino battles. So let's get that going again. And they extrapolated upon that, you know. And even Fallen Kingdom did the same thing. You've got several instances of dinosaurs going head to head And I feel like a lot of the stuff today is like, well, what worked in the first film, let's make that more. Let's do that again. And I don't know if that's the way we initially saw Jurassic. When I watched Jurassic Park, I wasn't like, oh, this is a movie about dinosaurs fighting. But I feel like when people have created these movies in the past few years, or even back in the Jurassic Park 3 era, it's like, that's what people want to see. And I'm wondering, is that what people really want to see? Is that what I always wanted? I don't know. But that is certainly what it is now. So, and just kind of bouncing it off of your robot arm comment, which I'm sure you're probably joking for the most part, but maybe somebody saw a robot and we're like, well, what can we do? I think when you're creating season 4, you're like, let's make a season that is technologically advanced. And what is common right now? What is something that's technologically advanced that we see a lot right now that we look at and we're like, oh, that shouldn't exist. That shouldn't exist. And here we are. I just literally just looked at your comment as I was saying that, and I didn't even know you said that. Robot dogs literally exist. Google Boston Dynamics. Exactly. They do exist. And I'm on board with that. That is fantastic. I love that. And that's something where you can look at those robot dogs and be like, yeah, I buy that. That works. That works. It's just the other things that I'm like, I don't know. But like I was saying before, when I'm watching it with my kids and I'm like, man, my daughter is just roaring at every dinosaur and literally doesn't care about anything else. And I'm like, what would I have thought as, 7-year-old watching Jurassic Park for the first time that literally had no content outside of some toys being released and the film? What would I have thought? I don't know. Dave, what are you talking about? And stop scaring me. 2 days ago, there was an article about robots that can self-reproduce. Okay, I think we should not ever be on the internet ever again. So that's it. Thank you guys. Bye. Okay, I'm back. Comedy, I don't know what that means, man. I don't know what that means. Jurassic Soul says it best. Life finds a way. Oh, so the robots use frog DNA to reproduce. Wait, you're saying this is not a joke? All right, everybody go home. I don't know what anybody's talking about anymore. I have no idea what anybody's talking about. You thought I was going to commit to the pig and end the stream. Yeah. But anyway, I think overall there's a lot of good things in this season. A lot of good things in this season, but a lot of things that make you, cringe potentially. Maybe, I don't know. I hope people don't think less of anything. I hope everybody loves the show. I hope everybody loves it. And I think when season 2 came out, maybe. I know I talked about, this is going to be interesting. I don't know what people are going to think about it. And then the season came out and I was like, oh, was I wrong? Like, was I wrong about what I thought about this show completely? Because it seemed like everybody was like totally down. And I'm like, okay, maybe I was just wrong about this. So I hope everybody loves this. I don't say that I disliked anything to make you guys dislike anything. I want you all to, each and every one of you, to love this show and to love everything you see this season. So literally don't listen to anything I've said ever. Not ever. listen to me whatsoever. Don't listen to me, because we've done a lot of speculation on this live stream. Not this one, but like previous ones. We've done a lot of speculation on the podcast, and some speculation that we did here was 100% right. Some of it. But a majority of the speculation we did was just completely wrong and unfounded. Just not anywhere near what they did. So, so if you want some parental advice, don't listen to me. Don't listen to me. But yeah, literally, don't listen to me. So I think that's the best, literally the best advice you could take going into this season is just don't listen to anything and let it all go. You know, for so long we all looked at this island and this season and we thought, Sorna, 100%. That's Sorna. And then they're, you know, before the show comes out, they're like, hey guys, we just want to let you know, not Sorna. So, you know, have zero expectations, try to have fun with it, and look for the good, because there's plenty of good. And let me tell, some of those good things are the characters. I think the characters were nailed. Like, they were fantastic. And I think they were better than they've ever been. Really. And the source on that is, bro, trust me. I think the characters are better than ever in this season. In so many ways. So many ways. I was really proud of a lot of these characters throughout the season, and proud of, you know, some of the writing and stuff like that took place for this season with the characters' backstories and what happens in the season. So I think there's a lot in there that is very, very good, that you're like, you know, I just love these characters even more. And you know, Cretaceous Dave is here, and I don't know where you are. Cretaceous Dave said, like I said earlier today, who cares who loves it or hates it? Just respect each other. Yeah, definitely. So I wanted to point you out because I think it was when I was watching the first season, or I'd watched it all. I forget exactly the timeline, but you had commented on Twitter about like what this show means to you. And you had said like how, you know, impactful it's been for you and your family. And you did get a comment. I forget the timeline of events, but you got a comment from Paul McKell Williams. You know, Darius himself commented on your thing, and he called you Mr. Dave, and he said like, this is the reason that we do this show and that we're around and we're making this content. And I looked at that tweet and I was like, that is the most wholesome tweet. First off, calling you Mr. Dave, and then just like saying what the show is for and why they make it and how they feel about it. And I think that put a lot of perspective on the show and what it means to analyze, you know, stuff like this. And so I really appreciate, you know, you going out there and mentioning what it means to you, because it helps. It helps, you know, stuff like that helps. So yeah, so go seek out Cretaceous Dave if you haven't already on social media. A lot of good will come from it. Commit to the bit. Yeah, there you go. I was like, I don't know where he's going with that, but I'm gonna just read it anyway. Sorry, I'm reading your questions. Benny has a question. I don't know if you can answer, but is the name of the island revealed? No. So that's weird. But here we are. Yeah, don't get your hopes up on anything like that. You're not going to learn a ton. I'm learning via text about potentially haunted toys that are upstairs in my house, so that's cool. Where you at? Where you at, Collect Jurassic? Let's talk. You collect haunted toys? Is that a thing? Do you have toys that just bump in the night and start talking? Because apparently I do. But anyway, was my favorite character besides Darius? Brooklyn has always been one of my favorite characters. So kind of bummed that when the toy showed up, that it doesn't really look like her at all. So that's a bit of a bummer, because like Brooklyn has always been, I think, a great character with a lot of dynamics to her. And actually, a lot of that, comes from season 4 too. There's a lot of really great stuff in season 4 with her character. So she's always been one of my favorites, though. Make sure to Google frog DNA robots after the stream. Oh my gosh. Yeah, she is the worst looking of the 6 toys. It is a shame. Yeah, that's a bummer. I expected big things from somebody with 27 million followers. Like, you'd think that her team would tell Mattel, hey, this is unacceptable. I have 27 million fans that'll buy this toy, and I do not want to let them down. But yeah, but if you have any last things here before we depart, I want to get out of here pretty quickly. But yeah, overall, I think there's a lot of good. Just look past some of the bad. And I've said this many times to people, maybe even some in this chat, but like, after my first viewing, I made a pro and con list, and in my head, I'm like, oh, I've got a lot of cons. I've got a lot of cons for this season. And then I wrote it out, and I only had like 3. And then I listed the pros, and I'm like, oh, this is a big list of pros. Maybe I'm thinking about this incorrectly. And I ended up, the balance was way off. But I was wondering, do the cons outweigh the pros? Is that a thing? It's possible. I think what needs to happen is season 5. And what I need to see is what happens in season 5 in order to have a better judgment, I think, of this season. And another thing that I need to see is Dominion reflecting the world that is showcased in this season. Because like we talked about with the technology and stuff like that, it is highly advanced, and I want to make sure that that's reflected in the world that Jurassic lives. I really want to make sure that Dominion doesn't feel like a step backwards technology-wise. I like your thinking. I think season 5 is going to swing back like season 3 did from season 2. Yeah, I think there's a lot of value to that. I think you could be right there. And if this does turn out to be the last season, season 5, I hope so. I hope it's a good one. I don't want to end on like a sour note, but yeah, I hope it's a good season. There was a comment previously that I wanted to comment on, but I forget where it is. We got lost in like robots that can reproduce. That I'm like, I don't know what the comment was anymore. I don't know, but yeah. Jurassic Dave says, "I'm just happy we have a Jurassic cartoon." Yeah, I am very happy that this show exists. We don't need knee-jerk reactions too crazily, There's been a lot of people out there that like have like reactions to this show as if it ruins the entirety of Jurassic for them, and I just don't understand that. And yeah, I don't know. I can understand like maybe not accepting it as something that is for you, kind of like the Lego content is. We know that the Lego content is not canon, and not anything that truly matters. Even if we forget about canon, it's just not something that ties in. And I know a lot of people have been saying, well, this show doesn't matter whatsoever, based off of what I saw. Technically they've said it does, but I think there's just a lot of comments out there that are just super harsh on what the expectation of content is these days. So I don't know. Let these kids go home. Even numbered seasons are crazy. Steve wonders if they'll spin a live action show after season 5. That'd be fantastic. Let's bring it. You got blocked. You put a spoiler, and you can't hear me yelling about you. Not you, Steve. Fingers crossed season 5 ends on a high note for the series, with everything wrapped up in the end and ready for Dominion. Yeah, I would assume that this comes out maybe after Dominion. Oh my gosh, wait a second. Cretaceous Dave, you spying? You spying on content I haven't released yet? What's going on? Or did you write in and I didn't know it was you? Because we talked about that hot dog man. I forget what was it even in reference to, whether it was Dominion. I think it was Dominion. If the hot dog man is going to show up in Dominion. So we were talking about that in the Jurassic mailbag that'll come out on Monday. So keep an eye out for that. And yes, like Jurassic, I think for a lot of fans, a lot of our feelings are wrapped up in expectations. Yes, 100%. And I haven't really mentioned it, I guess, here, but everything that I thought about this season was pretty cool. I was like, oh man, the things that they could do for this season. In my mind, the stuff that I'm coming up with is the coolest stuff I'd want to see. And it's everything we all want to see. We all want to see the coolest things ever. And then when those things don't happen, maybe they're still cool, but they're just not what you thought. And it hurts. And it's my own fault. And that's what happens with podcasting. When you have to talk constantly, you come up with some crazy theories. So I hopefully I can dial it in and not get so crazy. But the expectations thing, 100% my own fault. That's why I feel like when you watch things a second time, it's usually a little bit easier. And that's not anything we're ever going to talk about ever again, for reasons. Let's see. I don't know what you guys are talking about. What is this green flame? But anyway, I think that about wraps it up for tonight. Yeah, it's been fun. Hopefully you got a little bit out of my comments on season 4. I think you guys should have fun. Just go out there and enjoy it. And don't kill yourself watching this thing at 3 a.m. or anything like that. Give yourself some rest. Watch it when you've got a lot of sleep in you and stuff like that, and you're able to enjoy and have a good time. But yeah, it's fun. It's fun. Just have some fun with it. But yeah, is that outro music? Do we always just end on this song? Is that just a coincidence? No, guys, I don't need one. I don't need a reproducing robot for Christmas. But if anybody wants to, we have a charity drive going on either the side here or down below. Please donate to the Children's Hospital of Philadelphia. That would be really, really cool, really awesome if you did so. We'll try to raise some money for the kids, for the families, for the research and all that. So, yeah, please donate this holiday season. We would really greatly appreciate it. But be sure to tune into our spoiler content on Friday. We're going to release that spoiler content. We're going to have conversation between myself and Tom Jurassic. It's going to be on a podcast form. It's going to be in a video form. Tom's going to have a written review. He's going to have his own little mini review video. And then on Monday, we have the Jurassic mailbag. That's 4 episodes in a week. And then I'm going to sleep forever. That sounded really morbid. But I'm going to go on vacation. I'm done. But yeah, no joke. But yeah, so it's been a lot. It's been a lot. And it'll be nice. It'll be nice to have some time, maybe between, the release of this show and the new year, to hopefully like settle in before things get out of control again for Dominion and stuff. But yes, Tom is the best. Tom is the best. But yeah, and like I said, we won't be around. Keep your eyes out next week. I'm not sure yet. Maybe we'll do something on like a Tuesday if I can, or something like that. I'll let you know, because I do want to talk season 4 with you guys. But I don't know yet if we're going to get a chance to do it next week. But definitely not on the 15th. So we will be off that week as well. But yes, anyway, please go check out the podcast, do all those things. And that's it. That's all I got for you guys. So thank you so much. It's been fun. It's been a blast. But we're out of here. Good night, everybody.